really, they just, once you know the sniper's there, your medic should almost never get killed by him. It's just so easy to put yourself in like much better positions, in positions where it's just so hard for them to ever get away a clean shot. And this is why I think Davey made the wrong play in going for that pick into lobby, because it just gave away like that important information way too easily. We are going to see Siggy's coming in. Davey does get taken down. Nice shot by Fates. Another Scout can get caught out here, and he does so. Disturbed. Shane going down. And we're going to see a push coming in here from the Labracadabradors out onto the second point. Dreams putting time on the point. Uber's going to get forced off for both teams, but I just don't think Mates can really come take this back in. They're just going to have to give up second for free.
Jobo with a really well anticipated flank there from Hobbs, and Davey and him are going to combine together to try and take down Dreams as well, but Dreams is getting the better end of it. Wow, combines with Faithless, and they're going to smash the Mates combo, flank, sorry. And in terms of smashing the Mates combo, Lan, Shane and Reptile all so weak. Less than 100 health between them. The regen is kicking in onto Lan, but Faithless is on the hunt. He really wants his frag. 70 health, 60. Nice. Unfortunately, yeah, the pipe is going to come in and deny Faithless. Great defense from the demo man, protecting his medic there from Ubad.
And we had a 9-second delay on the spawning from for Red Hawk, which is going to be a bit problematic considering the huge Uber advantage that Lan's built up, and they're just going to be able to muscle them out of the point. They actually don't have Uber yet, so technically this is a more even fight than they probably think it is, but they've just got to play so scared just in case.
Hobbs bumped in there and just annihilated Lan, and B25's coming in trying to find the frag onto Red Hawk. He can't quite find it, 1 HP. Does get chipped down in the end there by Shane, but it's gone into an incredibly messy fight at the moment, but Dreams and Faithless coming back in should be able to clean up almost everybody here if they combine together, but unfortunately focusing different targets. They are going to get cleaned up there by Davey and Shane, who very nicely and very well coordinated with their target selection and focus fire.
Well, we have seen the medic for Mates time out, but no pause coming out yet, so it seems to think they know he's coming back soon or something. GBS spamming rockets, and it looks like they're just going to abuse this heal advantage. Lan is going to get right back into the server, but it does mean a 30% Uber advantage for Red Hawk. They're not grinding at all, it's keeping GBS on a constant 300 health, but it looks like it's going to be enough to be able to bully them out of mid. Nice rocket from him, but he's going to be, he's on 21 health, does go down. They've given up the height here. This can be really dangerous if they don't get frags quickly. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far, and they're just going to be trying to push back in with this one-player advantage. Now we see they've taken the point. They're now going to have the forwards formed, and I think it should be a back off for the Mates.
Yeah, they have got those picks onto the Pocket Soldier and the Demo Man, so that's really left their medic alone. Red Hawk and Shane just exploits that fact completely there. Shane and Davey picking up frags of their own, Red Hawk and Faithless. Hobbs is kind of stuck in sewers as well, but Davey needs at least one more person to come and try and help him. But instead, everyone's just left him in this 1v1 that he's still not quite able to get a better end of. Reptile finally coming to help him out there, and Hobbs will fall, so they've got the better end of this one, but now they've got to try and protect Lan, who's going to get juggled up in the air and absolutely obliterated. Dubious hits him with the air shot and absolutely slams the medic from Mates. Wow, it was looking so good from them, but I could see everybody from the other team was just gearing up, ready to go in there onto Lan, and just absolutely slaughtered him. Labracadabradors with some big DM plays.
Oh, nice shot from Faithless, managed to take down Jobo to 150 from 300 and then finishing the job. Hobbs is going to be able to lock out the Red Scout from IT. I'm just coming back, there's such an important bomb from GBS, managing to get the rocket in at the med's feet, and then I believe it was a huge air shot to finish off the job. Unlucky for Lan, but it is going to mean that they're going to be able to be pushed out here by the aggression from Labracadabradors. And the Demo Man's actually in real danger of dying here. He's going to take down B25.
Red Hawk once again has a gap in between him and the rest of his combo, so Phantasm and Dubious just a little too far ahead, just leaving Red Hawk completely exposed. Nobody's watching the flank as well, and Shane once again exploits that fact to absolute perfection and picks up the medic.
That's the second time that's happened, that Shane's just managed to leak through the entire flank, juke the combo and just two-shot Red Hawk. That's really unfortunate for him. We do have I suppose, a slight advantage now. Or no, actually no advantage at all. Both soldiers are down, and they have a sniper for Labracadabradors. Faith is going to get taken down by Shane, and now they're in a real sort of player disadvantage. Then you push down in mid. The demo is caught here in choke. If he doesn't manage to back out quickly enough, he is going to find himself not long for the land of the living, but it looks like they need to be content to back out of mid. The cap is going to go down for mates, and we're going to get back into an even situation. Faithless is going to return to playing scout as well, so I think that's a reasonable decision from him. He knows that they've been pushing so aggressively, and they need both scouts. Jobro's bomb never really looks like getting anything done. Phantasm down to 76, but that's all the effect of the combined spam.
It's the same bomb that he did last time, and it was very effective, so I can understand what he was going for. Shane actually wins a 1v1 against Hobbs. I was sure he wasn't going to get that, because everybody else from Labracadabradors was ready to follow up onto that one. He does find the trade frag, and Ubers are forced just outside GC, Dubious and Reptile. But butting heads, but Dubious is going to get a bit of damage on Salan. Decides not to follow it up, and instead they're just going to bait damage onto their own team. Davey is going to die to the roller there as well, and Demoman down in the backside. So Labracadabradors in a much better position here to follow this one forward. Reptile juggled up in the air, but the follow-up from Jobro and Shane's going to pick up the pocket. And Redhawk's caught a little bit of spam as well, but they should be able to bully this one out if they just keep doing a little bit of damage. Lan's down really weak, and once again disconnected from their combo, these medics, and Dreams this time they want to pick up the frag onto the mate's medic.
It really feels like the medics are kind of just out of sync with the rest of their team. Nice 2-pipe from P25 onto Dreams, but he's going to get taken down. He was too far forward, and he's going to pay the price for that. But it really does feel like both medics are just getting caught away from their pockets, away from their demo men, even away from like a passive scout maybe hanging around them, and just being so exposed like so often that it's really been like a notable feature of this game so far. We are going to have 100% Uberad for Red Hawk. Shane on the engineer, and where's he going to be standing up his gun? Just in front of the left spawn. Uber's going to be popped in. No frags so far. Should get a kill onto Reptile. GBS does get taken down by the sentry gun, and they haven't killed it with the Uber. They managed to get it later, but they've lost all the positioning they could have got during that Uber.
They've managed to take the left-hand side though. If they can consolidate this and get some heals out, they could be in a semi-decent position, but Phantasm had to rotate all the way around and is only now just connecting and just starting to deal damage, so this one isn't going to go the way of Labracadabradors. Hobbs looks like he's going to fall as well, only on 29 health. Can't find any kind of return frag, and Davey and Jobro are going to be pushing out from this bottom hand area. They are putting down as much damage as they can on this grass, trying to pin them back into choke here, along with the spam from Reptile. And Faithless is just going to charge through and take the 1v1 against Reptile. Does lose his life, but picks up the pocket. So Labracadabrador still holding onto this choke area and managed to buy themselves the Uber as well.
Yeah, and now they're going to be pushing through into mid. Flash onto the demo. No flash as yet onto their pocket, which means he's on such a very low health and he's going to go down. He's never able to really do anything in that Uber. I don't think he even got tabbed, which is going to give the player advantage to Labracadabrador. The pressure into choke. Phantasm goes down. Solar, such low health. Julius goes down. Red Hawk on 19 health does manage to get an Uber Saw. Flicks away. Is he going to survive? He's 14 health, and he's going to manage to back out to the health pack. Oh, very sort of tight situation there for Red Hawk. But it looks like he's. I was about to say backing out of mid, but he's still remaining well and truly forward.
Yeah, I think they really need to be fighting this one. They're giving up a lot of ground though, and mates are just taking as much position as they're being given. Hobbs falling fairly weak as well, while Jobro starts a little bit of a cap, and it looks like Red Hawk and the rest of his team just want to get out of this one instead of trying to trade the spam, instead of committing to the fight. Maybe they're going to wait for their Uber before contesting, because they're moving forwards now as they get to 90%. Jubis and Faithless taking the high ground, trying to put the spam down, and Lan is still going to be the one to use it first actually. Red Hawk with the reply, but Phantasm is just going to boss Reptile as he tries to find him as a pick, and the rest of the mate's team is getting slaughtered in this equal Uber fight.
Yeah, I didn't mind the play there where they waited for Uber before really contesting the point, simply because it meant their forward spawns had, from their early deaths in the fight, had time to spawn during the Ubers, and they're the team with forward spawns, which means the team with the most players post Uber is always going to be them. And now Phantasm is going to be working on sticking off the heavy on the left doors. We do see Red Hawk go down.
Yeah,
nice bomb from Jobro.
They hit 2 directs on him as he swoops in from the side, medic down, and heals down for the team. So Are they going to try and push out from this? They've been very aggressive so far, and they've got a little bit of a window of opportunity here. Dubious is going to fall. They've got a scout behind them, though. Dubious and Faithless both behind. Sorry, Dreams and Faithless both behind. They're going to draw everyone back, and there's no way that should have worked. Faithless just on the point. The rest of the team scrambling to get back in time. But the times for camp too strong for them. And it's going to be Labracadabradors picking up that first round. But very close stuff so far, though.
I can't believe they managed to get that cap even with both scouts going back there. They were just so, so much spam going down to them. But new mid-fight, Faithless can be putting out some early pistols, dancing around the points. No real aggression, so, and both soldiers coming in. Davy's going to go down. Pressure forward onto the red demo man. Scout very low. Judas goes down. Faithless goes down. And suddenly this mid-fight's looking very tricky for both teams because neither have great position, neither have great heals. And it's just going to turn into who can aggress the most. And it looks like the winners of those duels are going to be You're Bad or Mates. And they're going to be backing off towards door 2. Medic and Demo surviving, which means they should be able to get a good fight on the point for second. They just want to be careful that they don't get caught out too badly here before their soldiers who died quite late arrive.
A class shuffle as well from Mates. They've swapped around quite a few of their... Oh, no, that's not the Uber, that's the whole point. There's been a class change.
Yeah.
So Lan is now on Scout. Davey has switched over onto the soldier role, and Reptile, instead of playing the pocket, is going to now be playing medic. So we'll see how that works out for them. Lan did a ton of damage on the mid-fight, actually, as Scout just absolutely went ham, picked up a load of kills as well, but Reptile's going to get caught out. B25 goes down as well. It's up to the scouts to really make something happen here. Jobro is going to find Red Hawk, and now it's on Lan and Shane to see if they can pick up the rest of these players. It is possible for them to clean up in a situation like this, but unfortunately Lan a little bit too far ahead from Shane, who is just going to scoot onto the health kit, but then going to fall himself.
Yeah, well, the teams have thoroughly confused me, swapping all their classes, but I suppose it's a... they're trying to put people who generally have played those classes back onto their mains, I guess. Land sort of more notable as a scout, and Davey he came second in ulti duo to Yuki a few ulti duos ago, so he's no slouch on the soldier as well. Possibly a reaction to the very long loss in the first round. Process is a map that lends itself to very long rounds, and rounds which can take like a long time, which means that every round you get is going to be very valuable when you've only got a half-hour time limit. We're going to see a sort of a push coming in, a half push. Reptile down to 30 health actually, just from the spam that they're putting out through choke and through sewers. And I actually quite like this, although Faithless is going to go down, which is going to sort of nullify a lot of the effectiveness of the spam they were putting out. That spam was forcing them off the good ground.
Davey is so far. Yeah, he just got caught there, but is going to get dropped in the second flash. Shane's taken the majority of the supercharge. They have got frags with it, and the demo's just been launched in there. Phantasm is going to get taken down in 2 pipes by B25. Dream's so close to taking down Shane, but is surely going to fall here. Actually, he manages to take Lan with him with a bit of help from Faithless, who's going to scoot away in sewers, see if he can drag somebody in to get baited by Dubious. And I don't think they should be taking this fight. Faithless and Dubious, I think they're throwing their lives away, but they do manage to find Jobro as a return. Maybe B25 as well, who is currently dueling Hobbs on mid. But with this help and with these spawners, they should surely be able to defend the mid fight. Hobbs, Phantasm and Red Hawk are there, but they've got the forward spawners here, mates. They should be able to take this fight. But
they're not even going to attempt it. They're just content to give up the cap and sit back on their second. I feel like that was really, it was good coordination once the decision was made. I'm not necessarily in agreement about the decision to like go in there from Dubious and I think it was Faithless there, but their coordination was really what managed to like allow them to focus the weak players and end up producing a good result. So credit to them for the execution, even if the concept is not one I necessarily agree with. And we are going to see basically an even situation. Last time we saw Labracadabrador really trying to win a spam war out of sewers, which they did like very effectively. They managed to put a lot of damage in to the combo. Oh, the medic's dancing on stickies here. Oh, lucky there wasn't death there. It could have been disastrous.
Caught in a net of stickies. Red Hawk just trying to
7 health. Even a roller would kill him. Oh.
He's going to escape, but he's going all the way into sewers. It's quite an aggressive place to try and get some health from. So he's going to be then flanking Shane and B25. That really warrants a push in from Dubious. They're going to have to try and go forwards here. Hobbs is going to try and help them out at Choke. They've lost so many people already, and Phantasm down to 12 health will fall. And that's going to be a complete collapse here from Labracadabradors. Red Hawk probably going to be able to make his way out. He is full health and on the other side of mid, but Lan and Shane look like they want to chase. They've seen Faithless as well on that sniper, so they know what the risk is if they peek their heads through Choke.
Yeah, that was an interesting push because there was just such a so many players from mates grouped up around that. When they were trying to their pocket and demo through there in the post Uber, they were just opening themselves up to so much focus fire. Phantasm was taken down very low, very early. All I had to do was just, once he was there, just point at Dubious and click. Shane is going to get taken down by Faith. That's an important first kill. Always good to have a pick advantage. Now 2 kills. But this Uber has now lost like a great deal of its potency. They should be able to get the demo here, and they do. But the repush now is going to be much more effective because of that player advantage. Davey goes down. Reptile goes down. Dubious is going to manage to stay behind and sort of take the steal with Faithless, but now it just looks like this is going to be such an advantageous push for the mates. They can get on this quickly. Oh, sorry, not the mates. The Labracadabradors. Thanks for making me say that name, guys.
Even though they had equal players and an Uber advantage, 2 of the people were just respawning. B25 and Lan really weren't in the fight by any stretch of the imagination. They'd only just got there. And so when they lost those 2 players to Faithless, they essentially lost everybody who was going to be in the Uber repush, or sorry, the after Uber repush. And so they lost all of the potency completely as soon as Faithless got those picks. They're streaming it now as well, and mates are looking a little bit tricky here.
Oh,
but what a rocket from Jobro.
Jobro has been so big for his team this entire game. They've been recovering from, like, you know, bad situations where they're down players, where they're down Uber advantages, simply because Jobro has been able to get behind. He's managed to exploit really small windows of timing. He's managed to kill a medic on, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 occasions. He's managed to take down Red Hawk when Red Hawk's been surrounded by, you know, like a host of his combo players, and something that, you know, I suppose Labracadabradors really need to fix if they want to be able to use their advantages.
The switch over to Davey on Pocket doesn't seem to have worked for them particularly well. He's not put out very much damage this round. He hasn't really found very many kills this round either. I think he's got 1 over the course of the round so far, so he really needs to step it up. The driving force for these teams really does seem to be their Pocket, although they're working around Shane and Lan fairly well, but I feel like Davey, if he's been put on this Pocket role, really has to be stepping up a little bit more than we've currently seen of him so far.
Yeah, well, I feel like Faithless especially has been having a big impact and been taking a lot of the heat off his combo, because, you know, Dubious and Phantasm, they're a reasonable combo. They've got a lot of experience. They've got, you know, a lot of aim. But on certainly on just sort of pure aim terms, I've got to give like a slight advantage to the mates. But I just feel like the scouts have been, and getting a first pick there from Faithless just takes so much pressure off his combo. Davey's going to get Uber back. His Uber looks really, really good for mates, but he's not going to be able to get the demo. He does actually get the demo. So he's just with that scout, and they should be able to repush on again. It's only Red Hawk, Hobbs, and Dubious up, and Dreams up, and they're all the way back.
Faithless with mid. Spawn on Sniper though is going to be attempting any push that comes into mid. He's going to be setting up all the way back there. He's got a line all the way through to Choke, and he can see Reptile does a ton of damage to him actually, and will die to a sticky there. Hobbs is going to follow in with a bomb onto Choke, see if he can get damage out onto any of the other players, but Faithless has died in the backside, along with Hobbs, Red Hawk, and Dream. So this is going down to a 2v2 at the end of it. Phantasm, not the best player to have at the end of a 2v2 fight against 2 scouts, and Dubious as well going to fall. Just a simple fact that Shane and Lan stayed alive there a little longer than Dreams, and Faithless was on Sniper just meant that they cleaned up that fight 10 times out of 10 times. He'd won both of your buffed scouts at the end of a team fight like that.
Yeah, I think just what happened to Faithless there just shows the advantages of having a slower sniper. As soon as Faithless doesn't get that kill, like sure, he takes a body shot, like 150 damage, that's an impact play, but at the same time, them being down a scout post-Uber, I think has like a much bigger impact. Because imagine if that final so the 2v2 is Faithless and Phantasm, or Faithless and Dubious against the two Scouts. Suddenly it's a much more even exchange. Scouts are just so good in those scrappy fights, in those clean-up fights, that you really just taking as soon as you start missing shots as Sniper, you're just putting your team at a massive disadvantage. And we are going to see the push coming in. Redhawk is about to just get Uber in time to dodge that rocket from Dubious, but it does mean they are still going to have the worst Uber, just because
Davey dropped once again though, and they're going to be wanting to pop it off here in PC.
Faithless 1 HP does get cleaned up by Shane. They should be able to get this. Yeah, they're backing out to mid from mates. A slight Uber from Redhawk, but it looks like they're just going to be trying to use this player advantage, I guess, as they steamroll the way into mid. Scout forwarding onto the combo. Still very little damage onto him, and now the demo's just coming out. They've lost all their ammo. Phantasm gets taken down. Dubious gets taken down. Dreams on very low health. If the Scout manages to land one mate shot, Hobbs goes down. And now it's just Faithless and Redhawk up. Redhawk very low. Faithless gets taken down, and now it's just the medic up. This round should be going the way of the mates. Or will it?
My TF2 is completely crashed, so I can't even see the culmination of this round.
Yeah, Redhawk is going to get taken down first, and it should just be an easy cap from here. Dubious down as well. Only 4 players remaining up. Now 2. Now, actually still 1 because 1 respawned. But we are going to see the second round go the way of the mates. 1-all.
6 minutes left as well. 6 minutes left and the score 1-1, and given the pace of the game so far, we might not see the culmination of another round. But these teams are going to be stepping up the pace now, I think, as it gets into the real crunch time. Phantasm slightly quicker to the mid fight, and now he's got a lot more health, so he's going to be putting spam down onto Choke. Really hasn't hit anything quite yet, but B25 is going to be throwing stickies up near Dreams as well. Both teams playing it fairly slowly, but it's the mates who have the better position on the mid fight so far. Jobro in with a bomb is going to try and be focusing down.
Does so much distraction. Look at the aggression.
And obliterating everybody here. Just absolutely slammed everyone, and Redhawk knew it was going bad as soon as Phantasm got bombed and just got stuck in that corner, and he was hightailing it out of there. He's on 66%. Will have that Uber charge if they just build it for last, but they need to be getting a defensive class up or something to buy themselves a bit of time, because they're still another 10 seconds away from getting the Uber.
Yeah, it just shows exactly how decisive a really important Roman bomb can be there. Jobro's bomb there effectively wins from the mid, but it's not because he did like a huge amount of damage. Like, he obviously did get the kill onto Phantasm, or like assisted in it, and basically took the enemy demo out of the fight. But what he especially did was he made every single player on the mate's side, or sorry, the Labrador side, turn around and look at him, which meant that the coordination from the rest of his team, they all push forward, and every single player is looking the wrong way. They all get taken down. But we have seen 2 picks go the way of Labrador's damage, but it means they should be able to retake second, even without using their Uber. Dubious is actually going to take this Uber. So this will be a bit interesting, because now they've got. I'm just not sure they might not be able to back out of here in time. We are going to see the soldiers jumping into Choke.
Jobro gets Redhawk down to 3 HP, but he's still alive. Somehow manages to strafe wiggle his way out of there. Jobro gonna come in, focusing down other targets. Faithless down to 10 health.
Dubious.
He just can't find the frags, unfortunately. Dubious, yeah, coming in, just slamming the Demo Man and the Pocket. Oh, sorry, the Medic. Yeah, they're messing me up with the classes that they've changed as well. And Reptile does go down. That's heals eliminated from the board. Redhawk's fallen as well. It's only Davey left alive, and he's in a 4v1. There's no chance that he's going to be able to pick that one up. And they're going to be able to pick mid up here. It's swung back in their favour with 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, well, it's just a huge play. Redhawk managing to survive for so long on such low health, baiting the players in. Dubious gets back there, and he manages to defend Redhawk. Obviously, Redhawk does end up dying in the end, but just the huge player advantage that they were able to get meant that they could basically get a free midpoint. Ubers are effectively even right now, and we haven't got any off classes on either team, which means there's 3 minutes and 8 seconds left. So every push now is going to be absolutely crucial in deciding the outcome of this game and whether or not we see an overtime. I'm not actually sure if we are playing overtime. So
yeah, I think they're actually allowing ties. So both teams would get less points out of that, though, given that this is a qualifier series, a round robin, or is it Swiss system? A qualifier series is going to limit your points if you get draws instead of victories. So both teams going to be pressing for the victory here because they really want to get as many points as they can in order to secure that higher seeding. But it looks like they're transitioning into this sewers area. Dubious and Dream's going to be taking it forwards. They don't quite have the Uber yet, but just as they get it up now, they're going to be poking and prodding this mate's defense, seeing what they can get done. But Phantasm down to 50 health, and he's going to have the Uber popped off on him. Hobbs has fallen in the backside as well in the PC area. Jobro's taking a 1v1 against Faithless, does push Faithless out, but in the meantime, this Uber trade's slightly going the better way of mates. Dubious hasn't got much damage onto him though, and the pocket of Davey really weak, so they're going to be able to hold off this push for once.
Shane should get taken down.
Way too running in there.
And that may be the opening they need. Demo's on the floor, Demo goes down, Reptile goes down, no medic now for mates, only 3 up. Jobro sitting in IT, could be his team's only hope. He needs to get mop-up kills here. A scout's going to see him, hopefully he doesn't get the med here. Surely he can't, no he doesn't. Dreams
he had
on a 5 kill
streak. Ample opportunity there though. The teamwork of Labracadabradors really wasn't enough there, taking down the Roman soldier. It could have fallen, but he's going to scream onto last already. Reptile can't quite pump out the heals onto B25 fast enough. He's the only one left alive. And the score 2-1 with a minute and 20 seconds remaining. There is time for a reply here from mates, but they'll have to be incredibly fast. And for a moment there I thought Shane was going to run heavy to mid, given looking at the classes. That's not what you want with only a minute left, but they're going to be rolling out now and see what they can get done.
This
pressure is on.
Almost like an insta-wipe at mid, and I push it all the way to last. I can see Jobro jumping, he's taking on the left side, down to 135, so he's like immediately almost he can't jump just because he's got no health. Faithless gets taken down by land, but the Demo goes down. Hobbs should die here. We do see 3 kills go the way of your bad, while only trying 2 of their own. And they're going to use that advantage to capture mid. And see, this is where we see the advantage start to come. Such an aggressive play from these two, from the 2 red soldiers.
Yeah, Davey and Jobro linking together, doing vast amounts of damage. Jobro just carrying them through this mid-fight in this round so far, pumping out ridiculous amounts of damage. And he's going to be trying to take this one forwards as well. Red Hawk does have the Uber though, there's only 15 seconds. Surely they're not going to be able to get this one. There's a heavy and a sentry up. Red Hawk's going to pop it off now, only 10 seconds remaining. They need to try and play the point. The sentry doesn't quite go down, it was so weak there, but does actually find shade. The time is ticking down, only 2 seconds. No time on the point. No. So close, but so unfortunate. If they just played with a little more aggression in the previous rounds, perhaps we would have seen a faster paced game and maybe mates would have got the better end of it, but unfortunately it was not to be. They modified and adapted a little too late, and it's Labracadabradors who come out with the victory 2-1.
Yeah, well, just that the last sort of 5 minutes had more action than the previous 25 in terms of like rounds falling to each team, and I think that there is like definitely maybe a criticism, or not really a criticism, because both teams are agreeing to play the same pace of the game. But when you do opt to play that really slow-paced game, it does mean that you have to capitalize on every opportunity, because each round is really important. The final score obviously being 2-1, like not a whole lot in it. Each round like really crucial. It does mean that when you get an advantage, like a round-winning advantage, like a full Uber advantage, push on to the last, then you really have to capitalize on it. You have to get the picks, take the position. You have to be able to cap the point, effectively. And I just don't think. I suppose neither team is entirely innocent of blame, but I suppose just due to the fact that they won, Labracadabradors were more effective at doing it than the mates. And so I think both teams have to be aware of the risks of playing a slow-paced game, because it does mean that one or 2 mistakes can really come back to cost you a game, which is exactly what happened here. When they were starting to play more aggressively, mates at the very end, they looked strong on that last mid-fight. They looked strong in every mid-fight almost. Jobro was being like very effective with his jumps, but just wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was unfortunately a really bad performance from almost every soldier apart from Jobro as well. Jobro was doing tons of damage and being able to really find those impact frags, but almost everybody else in terms of the soldiers on the server weren't quite having the impact they could have done. Dubious has a decent amount of damage, but the KD was left in the dust compared to some of the other players on his team. Phantasm maybe still in some of the frags. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Dubious going 15 for 22, his other soldier going 16 for 20. Neither of the soldiers on that team particularly putting up big stats, but I think the scouts is where the story really is, because Faithless and Dreams had a really big game. They were doing very well and pumping out the damage, along with Phantasm, who had a brilliant map.
Yeah, I do think that I talked about I suppose the raw DM ability of B25, and he was, I don't want to say like the best player in the game, but he had the most kills and the most damage, so it's not like a terrible assessment. And he did a lot of work for his team, but his scouts just did not have the support. And I suppose you could say they were rotating classes, so there was always a bit of like who's playing what? Am I playing scout? Am I playing soldier? And that's I suppose harmed the damage stats in a sense. But I feel like Shane was really effective for his team in terms of damage. 284 DPM in a losing team on Scout is certainly nothing to sneeze at. But I do feel like the pockets, especially for the, they rotated through a few for the mates, like let them down a bit in terms of just, doing their job as pocket, which is using your Ubers to effectively like establish and, maintain your advantages, to take position, to get fragged, to allow your team to basically win the game. And I don't think that, any of the options that they tried really was effective enough at doing that. I think both roamers had quite decent games in different senses. Just looking at the damage there, 8,000 damage for Hobbs is like quite reasonable for a roamer, especially one who only took sort of 10% of heals, and I think that's a good a good piece of work by him. And he didn't let his team down in any sense. Really fulfilled the role of like holding down the flank and just trying to put damage onto their scouts and prevent them from pushing. Jobra's role was a bit different. He wasn't so much of like a flank defender, like outputting damage and slowing the other team. His role was effectively as, when we're losing a push, Jobro jumps the other team, kills their medic, kills their demo, like whatever advantage we need to make sure that they don't take 2 points off us instead of 1. And I think he did that really well in most occasions. But when he wasn't able to do it, I think it was really obvious just like how many advantages they were giving up. On that last push, when he missed that jump on the medic, previously, like we'd seen a few of those situations when Labracadabradors had 100% Ubrad or like a big player advantage pushing in, and Joe Broad managed to kill the medic or kill the demo or kill 2 players or something ridiculous and just nullify that advantage. But when he wasn't able to do it, we just saw like exactly how many kinds of those advantages they were creating over and over. And I think that's why Labracadabradors won the game. They were like a more solid team, and they created, I feel, more opportunities for themselves, even though Jobro was able to shut down more of those than he probably should, because I don't think that the Labracadabradors combo really played tight enough, and I think their flank did have a tendency to leak players, and that was like less evident in the later stages of the game, but certainly very early on, and I suppose towards the middle of the game, there were way too many flankers getting behind Labracadabradors.
I want to give a big shout out as well to Redhawk, who I think played excellently, especially when you consider that on the mid fights, Joe Bros had somebody's number on every single mid and just won all of the mids for his team. They didn't lose a single mid, the mates. Every single one went to them. They were all in fairly dominant fashion. But an interesting thing is that Redhawk didn't die on a single one. He was able to escape and maintain his supercharge, maintain the heals on any spawners, and save his team from it simply being a roll straight off the mid fight. It's so easy to get stuck in that situation on any map, but Process as well, where if you're a medic and you're trying to find out what's going wrong with the mids for your team, to try and commit a little bit more, to try and dish out more heals in the hope that that'll help your team win the fight, and instead just throw your life away and end up losing a round off the back of a mid fight. But instead he was able to escape in almost every one of those situations, and it really did save his team, because the fact that mates were not able to convert on those 4 dominant mid wins and turn them into rounds. Only one of those turning into a round shows that they just had a great defense on second and a great defense on last when they were pushed back to there. And I think that's in part at least down to RHK Red Hawk being able to get out of those mids where his team were unable to defend him. He realized it was going badly and just kept his own life.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing for teams to be calling as well. Like not just Red Hawk, but the entirety of their team. They've played hundreds of probably thousands of hours of TF2. They've played hundreds or thousands of mid fights. You start to develop a sense for when are we winning, when have we got the high ground, when have we got the picks, when do we have the health advantage, and when are we done? Like when's the point where you got to say flip the switch? If we stay in, we're going to get wiped and lose last, which is such an important thing in a really slow-paced game. You don't want to be giving up a round like that, just getting rolled all the way to last and then dunked on with full Uberad. And so I think it's really important that players who are like trying to improve their game in Medic, and even players who are trying to improve their game as a main caller, so maybe playing like Pocket Soldier or Demo Man, develop the skill of saying, we've lost this fight, we've won this fight, and just sticking to that call, and not being tempted to just have your meds stay around for like a 10% chance of winning the mid, because it's such a minus EV play, in the sense that most of the time you're going to lose, and when you lose, it's going to be much worse than the very few times in which you win. And so Red Hawk and the rest of his team deserve a bit of credit for that.
Absolutely, I agree. Let's take a look at the brackets. I say brackets, it's not really a bracket, it's the tables at the moment really for this Summer Cup 2016 qualifiers from ozfortress. Some of the teams are doing fairly well, but you can see the upcoming games, you can see who's going to be playing next, but that is going to be on Sunday, am I correct?
I believe it is.
I think I am. So those games are going to be played on Sunday. I believe that's 8 Sydney time on Sunday, and following on from that are going to be the next matches of the qualifiers in this Swiss system. So they're looking pretty good. They're Secret as well won their next game, so the teams that are going up against each other on that first round or third round really on Snakewater are going to be available for you to check out on those brackets, on those tables. So take a look at them, see what's coming up on Sunday, and we'll be back for more then as well.
Yep. I see Tommyist in the mumble right now. Obviously he's Hobbs, the roamer for Labracadabradors. Are you in here to do an interview, Tom?
No.
Well, we're going to interview anyway, so...
No?
That's very unlucky for you. Alright, mate. He's actually muted himself, so apparently we're not doing that interview.
Antisocial, son of a bitch. Let's call it off for there then, and you guys can tune back in on Sunday and catch the rest of the qualifiers, and then we'll at some point we're going to be going into the actual cup itself, and you'll be able to catch that as well on this channel, where we'll be covering more ozfortress action. We'll see you then.